Almost. All right. Yo, what's up, everybody? I'm just getting ready. What's up, Daddy? Just getting set up a little bit. I need a marker. I need a marker to tally. Good boy, Bingo. All right, dudes. What's up, everybody? Thanks for tuning in. We're about to win the morning. We're about to do some exercise. We're gonna hit some burpees, but I just went to get my whiteboard and my marker. And today we're gonna try to do 175. Yesterday we did 150. So today is 175. Let me just write this down real quick. 175. So maybe I'll turn this around. You guys see this? How does it look if I turn it around? You're all zoomed in. There you go. And then I need something like right here. Yeah. Goal equals 175 burpees. All right, we're getting started. So if our goal is 175, we need to do like 7 sets, right? Cool. If I put it there, can you guys see that? Put it closer. Yeah. But now the only thing is I can't really see what you guys are saying. What's up, Jessica Ortiz? All right. I think you guys can see everything there. Let me back it up a little bit more. Sweet. Cool. All right, it's 6:25. We're about to get started. Am I in the frame? Can you guys see me? Cool, yeah, it looks like I'm on the frame. Awesome. guys, before we get started, I'm just gonna do some warm-ups. Warm up the body. And if you're scrolling, please tune in, join me. We're gonna win the morning. We do this every day, and the whole point is just to start off the day with a W, build momentum so that we can win the afternoon, win the day. And then when you win the day, build momentum to win the week, win the 2 weeks, win the month, and then eventually win a couple months, and then eventually win the year. A couple years turn into a couple decades, and then by the time you know it, you've won your whole life. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, just gonna do a little stretch. Just woke up a couple minutes ago, like 10-20 minutes ago. I was able to kind of set up a little bit here. Today I don't have the microphone. The phone is charging, so I can't use the lightning port. But hopefully you guys can hear me just as good. I did add the board so you guys can see what we're doing and where we're at. And if you're new here, please hit that like and subscribe so we can get a bigger party, inspire more people. I like to say this is a place for high performers, people that are self-motivated, want to improve their lives, want to do better, want to do cool things, which means doing hard things. So we're training the daily discipline here. We're training the discipline muscle in real time, and there's no way around it. You gotta show up every day. Okay, here we go. First set. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. Sweet. First set. What's going on in the chat? Let me see. Whew. What's up, Jessica Ortiz? I got Daddy here. Cool, guys. First set is done. The breathing is always the hard part for me. My body feels a little heavy and not tender, but just heavy. Like my muscles feel really heavy. approaching the second set. Approaching the second set, guys. Woo! It's a little hard to engage with y'all because I can't really see the chat. But if I reverse the camera, then I can't really use my sign. So it's a double-edged sword. I think next time I'll have to have my other device so I can see what the chat's saying. Okay, here we go. Second set. Boom. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 16, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. Let's go. 25. Second set done. Yeah. Whew. Guys, I'm starting to feel my body getting warm. I'm sweating. Whew. So guys, what are we doing here? If you're joining us for the first time, we are winning the morning. We used to do breakfast burpees with bro, and I'm your bro Drew, but I changed the title to be more outcome oriented versus exercise focused. So it also gives me the flexibility to one day maybe not do burpees, maybe do a different style of training in the morning. So again, we're just trying to really be focused and intentional with the channel, be more like behavior based. For those of you that are new, I'm a behavior analyst in Los Angeles, which is basically someone that deals with behavior change, stuff like that. And so I want to give you guys value by imparting my knowledge as we train our discipline. Yesterday we talked about controlling our environment, like reducing the clutter, adding stimuli or cues in the environment. And I saw a cool video yesterday on Instagram right after the stream that said something like, studies show that people can not store their emotions, but because of their environment, like if something traumatic happened in the environment and they're still in the same environment, it could harbor, or it could trigger similar feelings, memories. So sometimes you gotta change your environment to change your behavior. Today, we'll talk about habit loops. Habit loops. A lot of us are in habit loops, behavioral loops, things we do maybe daily, weekly, kind of routinely. So this is a good example of what a good behavior loop is, because it's productive to your life, right? So we're winning the morning. Let's go. Set number 3. 1, 2, 4, 5, 8, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. Woo! 22, 23, 24. One more. 25. Here we go. So far we've done 3 sets of 25. We're at 75 total burpees, and I put the vocabulary word of the day here: habit loops. So the way habit loops work is you do a behavior, you get a reward, whether it's like a tangible or like a metaphysical reward, maybe like a dopamine release, something. And over time, you repeat that behavior loop, and then eventually it becomes automatic. So your body, your brain doesn't even think about the behavior. And the reason is our brains, the way they develop is we don't want to work too hard to remember stuff, identify stuff all the time. So our brains are really good at recognizing patterns and developing patterns and being kind of automatic with it. For example, if you drive, like, you're not thinking actively about how you're driving, most likely. Maybe you're not thinking about how you're getting there. Like if it's a routine for you, like me, I don't really think about how I get home. I just do. And so that's an example of a behavior loop, a habit loop. And so you can also say that about like eating cookies, for example. If you guys follow Do Hard Things 365, he talks about this a lot, where it's not so much like allowing yourself to eat a treat, it's more about the behavior of eating the treat. So it's really easy to be like, I'm gonna have 1 or 2 cookies today. So then that already puts you in a mindset where it's okay to eat cookies. So, you know, you continue that behavior because it's easy. Your brain doesn't have to think about it too much. It's something you've done before. And so for some people, I think a lot of people, myself included, you get stuck in these behavior loops that are not productive to your goals. And so that's why we're doing this, because we want to be productive, and so we want to create a new habit loop. And for me, it's been doing this winning the morning exercise routines. So if you're gonna win the morning, win the day, comment W and let me know while we do our fourth set of burpees. Let's go. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 15, 16, 17. What's wrong, Bingo? 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, let's go, 25. Just like that, we're building momentum. We're on our fourth set done. 100 burpees in the books so far. Cool. And we're talking about habit loops. Now we talked about what they were, why they happened. Now let's talk about how to change it. So have an example of a student who is developing his language, and right now he's in school. He's a small kid, very small. And so because his language is developing, his form of communication is mostly verbal and gestural, like pointing. I mean, not verbal, physical, like pointing, grabbing, pulling, stuff like that. And so for him, his behavior loop is when he doesn't want to do a task, his automatic response is to rip the papers. And so our approach to change that behavior loop is we have to interrupt that behavior chain, right? So the chain is aversive stimulus or task presented, and then he rips if he wants to escape. So one way to interrupt it is to gain his motivation beforehand, right? So what do you want to earn after doing this? And then he picks toys. Cool, now we establish motivation, but because his behavior is ingrained, because he's learned this, that it works for him, he rips up the paper. The other thing we do is teach him a replacement behavior that has the same function, right? And so in behavior, there's only 4 functions: escape, access, sensory behaviors, and attention. And so his behavior was serving, the ripping was serving to escape. So we needed to teach him a new way to escape, which is just saying, all done, or I'm done. And so yesterday we actually taught him, we're practicing how to do that. And it's funny because this shows you how ingrained behavior can be. We presented the task, we knew he was gonna rip, so we primed him before. We let him know, like, hey, if you wanna stop, if you don't wanna do this, just say all done. And he did. He gave him the task, put the pencil in his head, he said all done. And then right after that, we said okay. And then he ripped it anyways. So you see, like, his behavior chain was still trying to fulfill itself, but we're teaching him a new way, a more appropriate way to access his escape. And that's how you do it. So to break the habit loop, first you gotta identify a common sequence and then figure out how to interrupt that behavior or that response, and also figure out how to replace that behavior. Cool. If you have questions, please drop it in the chat, but we're about to do our 5th set. We're gonna get 125 done. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, woo, 14, starting to feel it, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. Sweet. Cool. Let me see. I'm gonna check the comments, see what you guys are talking about. Daddy says, this is why time goes by faster when you're older. Yeah, I agree. You've already been here before, so your brain doesn't process as much new information, so it probably doesn't develop as many new neural pathways, right? That's interesting you brought that up, because they did a study on 2 rats, and the goal was to kind of like see how the brain develops as you're exposed to an environment. And what they found was, the way they did it was, one rat was on the floor and was able to explore the area. The other rat was suspended in air, so it wasn't able to physically interact, it could only see. And what they learned, and what they discovered, was that the rat that was on the floor, when they did an MRI on his brain, they found that they had developed more neural pathways than the rat that was suspended in air, had not as interactive in his environment. So you're right, Daddy, the more new neural pathways you create, The younger you might feel, the slower time might move. And who doesn't want to slow down time? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? All right, here we go. 6:51. I think we can finish before 7. Let's try. 1, 2. And I guess if you're wondering, like, how can I slow down the aging? How can I feel younger? Well, Daddy just told you. We've got to go out, do new things, do hard things, explore new areas, meet new people, have new experiences. That will help you develop your brain, which will help you age slower. All right, here we go. Maybe. All right, here we go. Whew. 6, 7, 8. Hey, 9. Stop biting that, boy. You got 2 toys over there. Apologies. Bingo is biting some stuff, so I had to give him his chew toy. Whew. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. There we go, baby. 150 burpees in the books. We got about 2 minutes before the next set. If you're just joining me, we are winning the morning. My name is Drew, and this is our scoreboard for today. One tally is 25 burpees. And so far we've done 100, 125, 150. It's okay, Bingo, I'm right here. So, I had an idea, a thought to share, my final thought. And my years of experience, you know, I think people, my experience working in behavior, in the behavior field, I've worked with all kinds of people across the spectrum of neurodiversity, right? And so what that means is people who are heavily impacted, people who are not as impacted. And what I've learned is that no matter who you are, the brain does not like to do hard things. It hates it. The brain doesn't like to do hard things. The brain doesn't like to feel dumb. And because of that, it motivates a lot of kids at school to misbehave sometimes because their skills can be underdeveloped. And so since the brain doesn't like to do hard things, and it's really easy to get attention in a negative way, it's really easy to make your friends laugh. And that's so strong, right? That social reinforcement, that's like one of the main motivators as a human being, is to want to fit in. And so of course they're gonna misbehave when they can't do something hard, because one, it's hard. It's easier to get attention and fit in and be accepted by your peers, and 2, maybe they haven't learned how to ask for help. And so I think also what I've learned is exposure is a big factor in behavior in your lifestyle. The more you're exposed to either positive or negative, that will kind of like dictate where you orient your life. And so they say you are the sum of the 5 people you spend the most time with. And so try to surround yourself with people who are aspiring to be better, who are aspiring to challenge themselves, and also maybe even challenge yourself, right? We don't need a bunch of yes men, like Daddy Eduardo says. We don't need yes men. All right, so yeah, I'm gonna get off my soapbox. Today we talked about habit loops, how you can change them, and we're gonna do this last set of burpees. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Let's go hit that like, please, so I can finish these last 7. Woo. I need some more likes so I can finish. Woo. Thank you. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Guys, we did 175 burpees, all within like 40 minutes. That's pretty good. Today was a fun day. We had a new stimulus with us. It was kind of different too, because I can't see the chat at all. My phone is switched, but tomorrow I'll have my other device so I can keep up with y'all, engage with y'all more. But if you're new here, we just wrapped up. We won the morning. Let me put a big W. There you go. We got our first W of the day. We're winning the morning with Drew. I'm your bro, Drew. And we do this every day. The whole point is to build momentum and show you what it looks like to train your discipline muscles. There's no way around it. You just have to really do it every day. Do it for a long time, as long as you can. And today we talked about habit loops. We talked about how they develop, how our brains try to make our lives easier and spend less energy. And so sometimes that means we get stuck in behaviors that are not productive for us. And so we talked about ways to approach it and change it. One way is to identify the chain or the sequence and figure out how to interrupt the response. So that could be adding reminders, that could be having a replacement behavior that serves the same function or purpose. And then, of course, we want to reinforce the new behavior. So If you do change your behavior, let's say you stop eating cookies, well, you're still gonna need to get that same kind of reward feeling, dopamine hit in your brain. So maybe set a goal for yourself. If you're trying to change your behavior, if you meet the criteria, then you can reward yourself with, I don't know, your favorite snack, your favorite lunch, your choice. It's up to you, whatever you find rewarding. For me, I personally love smoothies from the gym. So whenever I hit a new PR, whenever I have a especially challenging day, or whenever I need some extra motivation, I like to get myself a smoothie. And so yeah, that's how we break out of bad habit loops. And this live stream is intended for you to develop a new habit loop where you're starting off your day with a W and building momentum for the rest of your day. So if you like that, if you like this channel, if you like what we talked about, hit the like, hit the subscribe, share the channel. And again, my name is Drew, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye-bye.